Hello and welcome back to another AP Human Geography review video. I'm your host Sam. Let's just get straight to it. So today I'm going to be talking about diffusion and what that means and the different types of diffusion. So what we have is, well, first, what is diffusion? Diffusion is when you have an idea, usually, or a technology, or it could even be like a fashion statement, or pretty much anything you can think of. It can even be a disease, like the coronavirus. We've been experiencing that kind of diffusion lately too. And in human geography, diffusion is usually captured as spatial diffusion. It's going across space. It's gonna go from one place to another and it's gonna spread. Whatever it is, an idea, disease, fashion statement, again, anything can be spread between people. But whatever it is, it's going to spread between place to place, and it's gonna do it in a couple of ways. So what we have are really, there's three different types of diffusion. There's relocation diffusion, hierarchical diffusion, and contagious diffusion. Now we're going to go through each one of those, but let's start with relocation diffusion. If, let's say, somebody in the Dominican Republic migrates to the United States and they immigrate here, they bring all of their ideas and all of their culture and all of their food and all of their quirks and everything about them comes with them and then spreads around wherever they settle in the United States. They make food for their neighbors try the food, their neighbors make the food themselves. They basically just diffused a recipe to their neighbors. That's the essence of relocation diffusion. But then we have expansion diffusion. Expansion diffusion comes in two different types, as you see here. Contagious diffusion and hierarchical diffusion. Now we're going to start with contagious diffusion. Contagious diffusion is when you have an idea or disease or anything that is spread person to person. The people have to be close to one another to spread it. So let's say a new fashion trend comes out in Orlando and somebody thinks about it here. Well, then they're going to tell their friends, and their friends are going to tell their friends, and then it's going to slowly spread out from Orlando, and then somebody might get in the car and go to Daytona, and then they'll tell somebody there, and then they might go out in the country and tell someone there, and it'll slowly spread out farther and farther if it is popular. Now that's the essence of contagious diffusion. Hierarchical diffusion is similar, but it has a slight difference. Hierarchical diffusion is when you have an idea, let's say an idea originated in Jacksonville, and then it just goes straight to Orlando, because Orlando's a big city. The idea is going to go there supposedly a lot faster, or Tallahassee, or Tampa. And it spreads from Jacksonville to these nodes, you could say, with high populations. And then from there, it spreads out around Orlando to high populated areas. And then from there, it spreads out to slightly lower but higher populated areas. And then it just slowly spreads out like that. Now that's hierarchical diffusion. And this gives you a really good idea of what that means. Like, this would be the originating city, and then these would be the cities with high population that it spreads to, and then slightly lower population that it spreads to. Whereas this would just be one person, the persons they know, the people they know, the people they know, and etc. So that's the difference between contagious and hierarchical diffusion. But both of these are a form of expansion diffusion. meaning that the original source keeps whatever is being diffused. Now that's different from relocation diffusion, where we were talking about the person who immigrated from the Dominican Republic. That the person brought over, but it didn't stay there. The whole idea came over here. That's not to say that the culture is still there. It is, but the person moved. It's not that the person spread the idea right there. Alright, and that is diffusion in a nutshell.